So today we have Guru Yogi Shivan on the show. So welcome to today's show.
Namaste.
Namaste. So what do you mean by a yogi?
Yogi. It's a word came from Sanskrit, yuj, union, connection. A person who succeeded in making a union between mind and body is called yogi.
So how do you determine whether you have made that connection or not? Because I could say, I feel like I've made a connection between mind and soul. Can I therefore call myself a yogi, or is there more sort of hoops to jump through in that respect?
It's 100% personal. If you feel happy and contented, you're not blaming anyone else for your own problems, you are a yogi.
Okay, do you feel like in today's world then there is more need for the interior self-reflection, given that we tend to be more externally focused? Oh, I need to have a better house. I need to have a better car. Do you think we've lost a lot of the self-reflection that we need to, as you said, have that internal harmony between the two sides?
It is necessary. If I know what I really deserve by nature, then I will not have any complaint and I will not have any worries and no blames. Whatever is developing from within, I will be contented. Then, when people become really settled from within and fully aware of their requirements and provisions, there is no chance for a clash in the society. Usually, when I clash with myself, my intellect, and intuition, that clash will be reflecting outside. If I am not connected to myself, I am not aware of it. So, for my mistake, I blame others. Then what will happen? If there are 10 people in a group, 10 of them are not internally connected, that inner clash will be projected outside. They will start blaming each other, which will make a chaotic situation. This is what is really happening all over the world. So, society, the global society, is nothing but the individuals. Around 7 billion individuals grouped together is called global society. So, everybody should be contented. Then the external problems will be minimized.
Exactly, and I think that we've discussed this on the show prior, that society is individuals, and if you want to improve society and you want a society that's not fat and overweight and aggressive, then you need to be in shape, calm, stoic. So I think that's a really good point. With regards to society itself, though, do you feel that because we are living so fast paced, we have to have a job, we have to pay a mortgage, we have to continually keep up to date with the new changes in what we should be doing as a society? Do you think that takes away from the solitude of going to sit in the mountains and actually listening to your own mind in that respect?
See, to find our own harmony within, it is not necessary to go to the mountains. It's like problems are really reflecting on others depending on our immunity. It's like if I am having a less immunity, it's very low, I will be vulnerable to almost all diseases. If my immunity is risen up with proper daily exercise and discipline, then usually I will not be affected by any kind of diseases. Same way, once my mind is scattered, it is not focused within. Due to that lack of focus, I will not have any clarity about my decisions and actions. Once I don't have the clarity, I will always be confused. Internal confusion, I will project outside. So, as you said, what is my life mission? If I am not having a clarity on that, I will start running after many things which are not supposed to be provided to me by nature. There is a cosmic law, like we always breathing, keep on breathing, inhaling and exhaling. How many people are aware of that? How many times we breathe within 24 hours and how rhythmic it is? Nobody is bothered. If you are not breathing more than 2.5 minutes, your brain will stop functioning. That means your identity, your individuality, the personality is depending on your mind, your memory. That mind is being activated through the oxygen given to you by nature. And the carbon dioxide, which we are expelling, is being minimized by different methods by nature. Now, what I'm saying is, even the life gas is given to you by something from nature. Then, what kind of decisions and desires we can possess? All my desires and decisions are completely depending on a cosmic intelligence. And once I am connected to that yoga union, connected to that cosmic intelligence with my individual consciousness, I am a yogi and I have no doubt. If I start a business, yes, I do it with the full commitment. Suppose I lose it, I don't care because it is not supposed to be a success. If I have succeeded very well, I am not overjoyed. So I am having a balance between the loss and the gain, pleasure and pain, heat and cold. These are the two opposites of the peculiarity of nature. Learn to balance that. Then we will feel some kind of happiness which is beyond comprehension, which is usually people say it's mindfulness. So you will be very active in everything, but no anxiety or stress. That is the only difference.
But aren't we meant to go through a situation of lack of clarity? Because in order to gain clarity, we have to have lack of clarity. In order to succeed, we have to have failed. And yes, as you said, we can try things that aren't meant for us, and we try them and it doesn't work, and the universe or synchronicities tend to point us in the right direction along the way. But do we have to then, by definition, go through wrong choices, wrong doors in order to find the right door, no?
Nobody can make an action consciously. We can be aware of it, but we cannot make it. Like if I say, okay, we will have another meeting tomorrow or day after tomorrow, this is my wish, my desire, and our plan. But I am not sure I will be alive tomorrow. Who can give that assurance? There is no assurance in our life. Every moment, our body is keep on changing. There are many millions and millions of changes happening in a subtle level in our system. So we cannot do anything deliberately. Things are happening through us by a cosmic governance. That is what is called cosmic intelligence or cosmic reality or God or whatever it is. We can label, we can use many labels, but the reality is something beyond our comprehension. So today we are talking each other. We may think that, oh, we organized a meeting, it is online, but we are supposed to exchange this energy by nature. That is why it's happening. Whether we like or not, if it is supposed to happen, it will happen. So all our desires, wishes, activities, these are happening only. But unfortunately, because of lack of clarity of the reality, we assume that I am doing this. But in reality, things are happening through me. This is the only difference between a bhogi, a materially entangled man, and a yogi, a person who has liberated from the entanglement of nature. But both are going through same experiences which are meant for them by nature.
Yeah, I mean, I made a podcast a few days ago about determinism versus free will, i.e., is free will an illusion? Because as you said, we don't really have choices. We are born into a certain family, we have certain intelligence, we are a certain gender, we are a certain race, etc., etc., etc. And then your ideas, where do they come from? People think,
Yes.
oh, I had an idea, but did you have an idea, or did your brain just say, do this? And then we have to follow that intuition. So I think that's a really important point, is that there is obviously there's an argument for everyone that, well, whether things are a choice or whether they are determined or whether there can be a soft determinism in the middle, and whether we can, because if we are the sum of our experiences, every interaction, so you will change after this conversation and I will change after this conversation, even if it's just 1 degree, half a degree, 2 degrees, whatever. Is there a way though that we can purposely set up interactions or consume content that will change us for the better long term? That's the question that I have.
We can think we are trying, but if I am not supposed to try, it will not happen. Like I run a business, I keep on trying to develop the business. If I am not supposed to win that game of business, I never win. But if I am not supposed to lose by nature, the success is destined for me. Nobody can put me down. So everything is crystal clear, well defined. Each and every molecule in nature is properly designed, which is called a destiny, a cosmic design. Now, if I want to talk to you, I have to inhale oxygen. There is a proper data of calculation in the nature's arrangement. How many gallons of oxygen I will consume and how many gallons of carbon dioxide I will expel and where the carbon dioxide will be going and which are the plants they are using and giving me back oxygen. These things are properly designed, which is called a cosmic design. But that design is beyond our comprehension because we experience this life through our intellect. Our the total existence, if you calculate, maximum 5% of our existence is being managed by our intellect. The rest, 95% activities are being controlled by instinct or subconsciousness.
Correct.
So we don't know exactly what our subconscious mind is planning for us. There yoga begins. If
Yeah.
consciously, deliberately, I withdraw my mind from external objects and try to focus in my subtle functions of the body, like our involuntary functions. How many times heart beats? And I cannot control the beat. It is well designed by a cosmic energy. My breath is controlled by a cosmic energy. If the outer temperature is high, without my permission, immediately my sweat glands will be active and they will spray water. I will be sweating to manage the body temperature. Whether I like or not, things will happen like this. That means 95% of the activities in our system being controlled by that instinct, subconscious mind, only 5% which we heard from outside. What you heard, what you saw, what you smell, using five senses, you collected some informations. And unfortunately, modern man is depending only on this 5% of intellect. But you can see some tribes in Africa and some other areas. They are living like animals. They are more connected to nature. usually they are not stressed. They don't know what stress is. You know why? Their dependence is more in the instinct than the intellect. We may think, oh, they are primitive, they are not civilized, but they are more successful in the happiness index that we can see. So, here, what I am saying is if we can explore the potential of our subconscious mind by inner observation, we will come to know things are happening, not being done by me. It is done through me by a cosmic law. When we surrender to that law of nature, we will feel some kind of emptiness, weightlessness. It is called ecstasy, inner joy, because there is no worries. If you have worries means you don't know the decision of nature. When you go against the law and decision of nature, some kind of clash will happen. During that conflict, that due to that conflict, we feel some kind of uneasiness, which is called stress or anxiety. So here we need clarity, focus more inside, withdraw your senses from your external entanglement and try to connect yourself with the subconscious level or instinct. There, each and every thought will have a clarity. When you have clarity, there is no confusion. If there is no confusion, there is no stress.
Yeah, I mean, what as a society we tend to be obsessed with, as you said, the opposites, breathing in, breathing out. We tend to be obsessed with the mountain top, not the valley below. We tend to be obsessed with success, not the failure, even though they are part of that same spectrum of success, essentially, or winning, or whatever you want to call it.
Mm.
In terms of the cosmic law or spiritual control, I tend to think of it like this: is that if you have a dog at home and you go out to work, you go to work and you come back, so they've been home 3 hours on their own. All they know is that you went out the door, they're sad, and then you come back and they're happy. They can't comprehend the fact that you got into a car, you drove a car, you got directions, you went to work, went to the shop, you picked the food and their dog food maybe out and went back home. They cannot comprehend it. And I think that's sort of what you alluded to earlier is that we cannot comprehend how the universe and cosmic system operates. Is that what you're sort of referring to?
See, you said we always see the top, ignore the valley. That is the main mistake. That means we are denying the truth, the science of life. There is nothing available in nature without these two opposites. If you appreciate day, night is a reality. If you appreciate gain, loss is a reality. You take a coin, one side is head, other side is tail. Without these two opposites, nothing is available. Even you take a submicroscopic molecule atom, go to the nucleus, you can see proton and neutron pressed each other. That's why they are spinning. They want to separate. Who made that association, union? We don't know. Our mind cannot understand that. So the moment we ignore the reality of nature, I mean the necessity of uniting both, we are one-sided. If your car is having a problem with the one tire, definitely that will be going one side. You cannot enjoy the real drive. Same way, when your mind is associated with only one side, intellectual side, the instinct is completely ignored. Then there will be a derailment, imbalance. That is what is the cause of misery. The moment we get this balance by accepting both pleasure and pain, gain and loss, then heat and cold, male and female, both are the essential part of existence. Handle it, deal with it, then you will get a balance. In Sanskrit, it's called samyak, means equal balance or equal management or balanced. That samyak, the moment you reach that level, usually people will call him Swami, means the guy who attained the balance of life or balance of thought or the balance between the brain and the heart. Usually, there are two informations given to you. Once brain will say something, that is an intellectual information, then your heart also will give you an instruction. That is what is called instinctive impulse. But unfortunately, we lost that impulse or we lost the capacity to listen the language of heart. That is why we miserably lose something. We don't know what it is. But animals are really instinctive. They depend more on instinct than intellect. That's why you can see they don't have any worries. They are not stressed like human beings. But again, man is a social animal. We were in the forest, we were living like maybe 100 generations back. Where were we surviving? We were in the forest living with the animals. But when the society formed and it improved, then the material science developed. That means informative science. Now, if I want to know who you are, I need informations. But as you said, when you come home or from long distance, your dog or your cat or that will immediately recognize you, disguise with some other makeups and everything. Maybe your close friend may not recognize you, but your dog will recognize you immediately because they are more depending on the instinctive impulses. So here, modern man lost that attention. So yoga is slowly reviving or retrieving that potential from within. When we get a balance between our intellectual informations or intellectual impulse and the instinctive impulse, there will be a master control derived from that process, union, harmony between your brain and heart. There, natural clarity will be with you, then no more worries, no more doubts. That is the benefit.
Yeah, I mean, I said this to my friend last week. We were having a discussion about, I don't know, these sort of topics and determinists, etc. And one of the things I said was that how can you actually say that humans are the top of the species? Yes, we are the most cognitive. Yes, we can build stuff. But actually, we are the least in harmony with nature, essentially, as in we leave rubbish and we poison the sea, etc. Animals only live in their little remit. They sleep, go to the toilet, eat, and they can live within nature without making any destruction. So I think in some ways they are higher than us in terms of spectrum. The other thing you mentioned you've talked about the cosmic side of things a lot. And we're talking about the ideal of being in harmony and making sure that we're in the right place. But if everything is opposites, surely for there to be yogis, for there to be spiritual guys, there needs to be horrible people out there to be part of that same positive and negative. Because not everyone can be enlightened, surely, because then if they are, then no one is enlightened.
Again, see, not everything opposite. There is a necessity of the union of these opposites. You cannot see only one category, good people. How can you recognize good people if there are no bad people? How can you recognize day if there is no night? What is the use of police and people who are, taking care of the law and order if everybody is yogis? So we cannot, even without hunger, you will never experience taste. Without a disease, there is no immunity. So the good and bad means these two opposites are necessary for action in nature. It's like now the camera is on. Why? There is a battery and two poles are there, positive and negative. If electricity is there, neutral and phase, without that two, nothing can be active in nature. So, the moment we get this clash between or the gap between the intellect and the instinct or the brain and the heart, then these kind of questions will be overpowering us. That is the limitation. That is the slavery of our intellect. So if we want to go beyond, break that slavery, you have to go beyond your intellect, obliterate the boundaries of your intellect. Like our eyes are recognizing only one velocity of light, 300,000 kilometers per second. That is the limitation. We see, oh, the whole world we can't see. It's a limited thought. Beyond and below, there are many frequencies, countless frequencies. We don't know. Now, with the modern science, through sophisticated machines, equipments, now we can see alpha, beta, gamma, theta, X-ray, infrared, ultraviolet. These kind of frequencies are visible, but that also too limited. We are simply enhancing or multiplying the capacity of our vision through certain equipments. But these are too limited. Even our ear, we will listen. The sound is possible for us 20 to 20,000 hertz. Beyond and below is silence for us. Okay, with some amplifiers, we can reach to certain level. If you amplify a sound beyond certain limit, it will become silence for you. So we are living in a very limited frame of mind. And beyond that, there is something which is beyond our comprehension. Because of that limited entanglement, we feel we are trapped. That inner mind says, hey, you are not a slave. You can go to the infinity. You have infinite potential within you. Then mind will say, no, I am limited. I am in this world. I need this. I am doing this. So this I is making us too limited to understand the infinity. Intellect will always say, you are a finite being. You have to compare with others. Okay, that person, he's constructing a house. No, why can't I construct a bigger house? So I need this car. I need this person. So like everything is limited. When we go beyond this limited identity, we will be connected to the infinite reality. There, it's like, again, analogy I can give you. If you see the ocean, there are countless waves, small waves, big waves, huge waves. If all these waves are having an identity, they will think that, oh, I am smaller than this. Other wave may think that I am bigger than this. But a person looking from outside, from long distance, enjoying the ocean, for him, the waves are essential projections of the water. Water is the reality. But these waves are temporary ups and downs of nature, movements of the ocean. Same way, we see this material body living in this nature for this span of life, we create an image about our existence in the mind. It is not real. But reality is beyond matter. Now quantum physics is slowly reaching to this ancient conclusion. E is equal to m. There is no difference between energy and matter. Thousands of years ago, it is written in ancient yogic texts, Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. Mithya means the material world is subject to change. It's keep on mutating. But what is real? Infinite reality. Infinity is real. All finite things, even the universe, huge universe, but still it has a limit, a border. Infinity cannot have a border, but huge finite things are there. So when we see something within the limited limits of a border, we are finite. Their mind plays. But if you can go beyond the mind, you will come to know the ocean is real, waves are, evanescent. Here, I am living as a wave in this cosmic ocean. What is the reality? Reality is water. Where is water? I have to look inside. From which energy my matter evolved. There, I will become a scientist. E, energy is equal to M. My mind is the energy, subtle energy, and matter, body is matter. So there is a cosmic connection. Even modern science now declared this energy is converting itself into matter, and matter is coming back to energy plane 1024 times per second. It is actually, we cannot think about it, it is beyond comprehension. But that is what quantum physics is declaring. So, what is real? There is a quantum coherence. This is what they say. But here, aham brahmasmi. There is a cosmic energy which is beyond my mind, but that is the reality which connects each and every molecule in this universe. So be aware of this existence. Go little deep into your heart. Listen the language of heart. Then all our worries will vanish. Worries are the outcome of ignorance, lack of knowledge. Once I miss the real knowledge of myself, I will be depending on others, comments. If I am sick, if you see around 4.5 years, I spend my life in a forest. See, no animal is worrying about its disease. One day I saw one animal who was having a huge lump on his one side of the body. And it was moving here and there, eating grass. And I was thinking, it must be cancer. Human being will be worrying about the changes. But that guy is not bothered. Either it will go by itself or it will die due to that reason. But in between the healing process or dying process, the poor creature is not worried. But for human beings, if I have a lump here, the day one I see, I will keep worrying and I will go for some treatment or not. Sometimes that will be vanishing or it will kill me. But all these times, I will be worrying about it. If I am supposed to die today, nobody can save me. It's a cosmic decision.
Yeah.
If I am not supposed to die for next 50 years, nobody can kill me. That is already designed. So why should I worry? I am not worrying because I already connected my mind with the language of heart. That is what is called yoga. The person who is succeeding in that one is called yogi. So everybody should reach to that level to overcome the present problems or our day-to-day problems.
Yeah, it's the whole Amor Fati, isn't it? That means to love thy fate. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen, and we should not wish for things to happen as we want them to, but wish for them to happen as they are going to happen. Essentially, that's from the Stoics. But just coming back to what you were talking about with regards to the water, etc., as well, is that we tend to always want bigger waves, bigger houses, bigger society. But Bruce Lee said something that it's not about daily increase, it's about daily decrease. Hack away the unessential. We don't need to live maximally, we can live minimally. But there seems to be an underlying thought within the geist of the current world is that we need to move faster, we need to be bigger, we need to force our way to success and go against the river. And, the more we grind, the better we are. But why not go with the flow of the river? Why not tack, as Alan Watts discussed, and use the sail in order to to do it without any effort. We seem to have a view, a correlatory view of the harder I work and the more stress I go under, the more chance of success. But that isn't really the case, is it?
See, if a person is destined or designed by nature to grow, his intention is to grow because it's that feeling or that desire is already installed in him. He will keep on working to grow. And if a person is supposed to worry, he will keep on worrying. See, like we had a prince called Siddhartha Gautama 2500 years ago. He was a prince. Then he was born and brought up in all luxuries. One day he came to know what is the use of these things. I am in the palace, but see on the street there are people, old age people dying there. There is misery in life. So he left all his belongings, even the kingdom. He left and went to the forest in search of truth. That is called Buddha. The founder of Buddhism. Some people, we have industries here. I know I'm not mentioning the name. One of the best industries in India, started by an ordinary person, a street vendor. His intention was to grow. And that is now one of the major companies around the world. Why? He was born to do that. If somebody is born to think of growth, he will do that. Whether he likes or not, he cannot stop doing that. If somebody is to destroy everything, maybe born as the member of the big company, maybe after a few years you can come to know this guy spoiled everything. So everything what I say is growth or fall, or gain or loss. All these things are designed or destined. So what we can do, if a person is supposed to handle this both extremes comfortably, he will do that. Nobody can stop him. If a person is born to worry, he will keep on worrying. So these two categories are there in nature. So what we can do is just look inside who I am and what I am. If I look outside, I am falling into an illusory world. Even ancient science is saying that this is Maya. Maya means illusion. The external world you experience through your senses is an illusion. Modern science also declaring that there is no material world existing the way you perceive. As your perception changes, the external world will keep changing. So, why should we worry about the external things? Better focus more inside if you are interested. From where the interest is coming? Some people are born to serve the society. Some people are born to destroy the society. By whom? Nobody knows. If you want to know, go beyond both. Find out the difference between the finite world and the infinite reality. That is very much lying within you. So, everybody who are interested should focus inside, at least spend 24 minutes a day. This is what is instructed by our masters. We have 24 hours a day. Take 1 minute each from each hour and spend that 24 minutes for inner observation to find out who I am, why I am. The moment we start experiencing the answer for that questions, you cannot explain, but you can experience it. That will make the fundamental change within you, or your personality will keep changing. It will come as a happiness for you.
Let's push back on this whole idea though, because we understand that your internal landscape is really important, and that if your internal landscape is good, it can improve your external landscape. So then why is it that most successful countries and societies, especially in today's age, lack religion or spirituality, yet their external reality is better than some of the countries like India, Bangladesh, etc. So from that perspective, maybe this inner work doesn't reflect as a better external life.
The developed countries are materially developed, but religiously, they are losing the essence of life. What is their religion? Many people are confused. People will think religion means you have to believe on a text or a dogma or a person's ideas. Everything is coming from outside. That is not real. Realization of the reality is religion. The word religion evolved from a Latin word, religare. What does it mean? Connection, union, yoga. You have to connect your mind, intellect with your heart, brain to the heart. Then only you will experience the reality. You can go beyond the world of matter. But materially developed countries are developing the matter level. But what is their spiritual consistency? They have only a sect of beliefs. That is why always there's religious conflict. A spiritually evolved person doesn't have any kind of conflict. If you say to me that, oh, all your ideas are superstitious, it doesn't make sense, I will say, thank you, because I know very well if your mind is capable of understanding what I am talking about, definitely you will understand it. If you don't understand, you will say, oh, your ideas are wrong. It's like suppose a blind man, by birth he is blind, highly intellectual, maybe a scientist. He is using his brain and evolving many thoughts and always curious, or asking many questions. Suppose he is coming to you saying that, hey, you are talking about colors. Tell me, what is color? He read about colors and he is blind and he is asking you, give me an explanation about color. Well, how you can convince this person? How you can teach this person about colors? As a person who is enjoying the colors, will keep silent. You will say, sorry, I cannot. But this person may ask you, hey, come on, I'm asking you a question. Tell me, what is a color? You have no way. If you are sincere enough and you have time and that person is willing, you can take him to a experienced ophthalmologist, find out whether there is a possibility for a surgery or something to take out his blindness. If that person succeed in that process, remove his blindness after a proper treatment, and he got his vision back, then what kind of questions will be remaining within him regarding colors? All his questions regarding colors will vanish. No confusion, because colors will become an experience for him, a reality for him. Then his questions will vanish there. Same way, the materially evolved countries are falling into conflicts because they are spiritually blind. They are intellectually high, but spiritually blind. Since that blindness is active, there is no peace within themselves. They will speak about peace, but they cannot establish peace. So, like if I am not experienced, I will say, hey, everybody should be in peace. And I am not ready to, forgive somebody who cheated me. Then how the peace can be established if everybody is thinking like that? Once I was invited to inaugurate a function, World Peace Day. There were 50, 60 people organizing everything, and there was a podium, people were listening. And I asked them, okay, we are praying for the world peace. But let me ask you a sincere question. How many of you are willing to forgive somebody who really cheated you, nobody was talking anything. Because so long as we are entangled into our intellectual plane of consciousness, we cannot forgive from the heart. If we can open the sixth sense, slowly directing the five senses back to the heart, listen the language of heart, and that language is the sound of silence. Silence has a wonderful violence within, cosmic violence. When we listen that, it is an experience and a revelation. When we establish ourselves into that, the external world become insignificant. Yes, we are in that world, but it doesn't have much value. Like a person who is having 100 million dollars in the bank, and he lost around $1,000. What will be his feeling? Ah, we'll say, okay, leave it. Suppose a person has only $1,000. He lost $1,000. What will be his condition? He will be in stress. Same way, when you experience the infinite wealth within your heart, what you are feeling outside, insignificant. So this is what we should develop. Unless we develop that, we cannot find answers for these questions. A blind man can listen more. He can recognize people by sound. A guy who cannot see and he cannot hear, his smelling capacity will be very high because two organs are not functioning, other organs will take overload. Like that, consciously, if we withdraw our functions, the senses inside, that is what is called a yoga, withdrawal of senses. So, through systematic practice, you can shut down your organs one by one. When you succeed in arresting the functions of five senses, definitely a sixth sense will be activated. That is what is called the super consciousness or the third eye or sixth sense. When we activate that sixth sense, all our questions will be answered there. Then the spiritual blindness is gone and you will become face to face with the reality. There we can see, yes, everything is one with me.
But if we were to look at a life that is of good balance, we do need to spend some time on the material side of things. We do need to spend spiritual time. We need to spend time on relationships, our career, finances, our health, our hobbies. So isn't this just part of a wider way to make your life better than just 100% spiritual and to neglect all of these other areas?
We don't want to neglect anything. Be realistic. Again, I will take my example only. Suppose I want to, now I have a business, people are working, around 100 people are working with me. And I keep thinking that, okay, next year by this time I have to increase, double my business, 200 people must be working here. Yes, I am optimistic. I am very workaholic. But all of a sudden I got a stroke and I became paralyzed or fell into coma. What will be happening in my business? So that is the reality. We can wish for everything, but the nature will decide what should happen. So keep working, keep thinking, keep wishing, but no worries. Because, see, we can see when this 2006 tsunami, hit the whole world, how many people were planning for next days, court cases, business meetings, and in the middle of the night, the sea washed out everybody, everything. Who was controlling it? If an earthquake is coming, so who is controlling it? A comet is hitting on Earth, suppose. Who can stop it? So these are all our wishes. But plan is behind our intellect. So whatever is happening or planned by the cosmic intelligence, will be executed. Whether we like or not, there is no change. So for me, I can be with the present. I can learn from the past, no worries about it, because I cannot bring the past to the present. And tomorrow, the future, I'm not worried because I'm not sure what is designed for me. So the best way, be active, be accurate with the present. That's all. So learn from the past, work for today, and plan for tomorrow. No worries, no anxiety. This is what is the ultimate goal of life, as far as the traditional teachings and yoga are concerned.
But is there any need to plan for tomorrow if it is determined, if everything has happened from the Big Bang, from the start of time, a domino hit another domino, which hit another domino, another domino, and then we are here today? Is there any point in planning because everything's going to happen as it should, or do we actually have some element of free will within that, do you think?
If you are supposed to plan for tomorrow by nature, permitted by nature, you will keep planning. You can see people who are addicted to drugs. Are they planning for tomorrow? They are born to be like that, and they will be thinking of making them, stoned. That's all. They know they are not bothered about yesterday. They are not worried about tomorrow. No planning. People who are meant to be like that will be like this. You are thinking like this because nature asked you, the cosmic governance asked you to think like this. That's why you are asking these questions. You are processing your thoughts like this.
No, that's true. I think that as I've sort of got more into philosophy, that we actually have less free will than we think. We are determined by our genes. Our personalities come from our experiences that we've had, and actually what we pay attention to again is down to our personality. But again, we're not going to go too much into that, I suppose. But is there any sort of final bits of advice that you have for people, whether they are trying to improve their spirituality or actually start trying to be aligned with themselves? So again, like Wu Wei, don't force things. Taoism, where you just let things. It's the art of non-forcing. It doesn't mean just do nothing, but it's sort of allowing things to play out as opposed to forcing them.
Again, these kind of questions are the outcome of our intellectual limitations. Spiritualism is not something written in the book. What is spirit? We are talking about something which we don't know. That's the issue. Spirit is or soul. Spiritualism is a different term in different parts of the world. It is the soul, the reality, something beyond matter. How it can be experienced? If you go beyond your senses, you will experience it. Otherwise, you will imagine about it. Imagination is not real. Another example, we can tell about these things only through some examples. Like you take two gases, hydrogen and oxygen. Both are complementing fire. Hydrogen is combustible, oxygen is complementing fire. But if you make a union between hydrogen and oxygen, what you will get? You will get H2O, water. So the gases will change its identity and the liquid will be produced from that, a visible molecule. Same way, our body and mind are like two entities complementing a fire of desire. Mind is always running after desires, and body is trying its best to complement or fulfill that desire. They are complementing each other. But we don't know what is the driving force behind this body and mind. But if we consciously make an effort to unite, to make a union between this body and mind through practice, both will merge each other. A third reality will be evolved from within. That is what is called spiritual awareness. irrespective of these two. Then, once that reality evolved from this profound union between mind and body, you will feel I am something beyond body and mind. That's why everybody say, I have a body and I have a mind. Oh, my mind is not under my control. That means you own your mind. You own your body. Then who you are? That question is still remaining in everybody's mind unanswered. The moment we get answer cannot be taken from outside. It is an inner experience. If you taste a particular candy, how can you explain the taste? You can say it is sweet, something little bit is there. So many things you can say, but you cannot explain exactly what you felt as the taste of that. Same way, this one is perfect experience. Unless we reach that level, the external questions regarding spiritualism never ends.
Where can people reach you if they need to?
Sorry?
Where can people reach you if they need to? If they want to listen to your work or speak to you directly, is there anywhere they can do so?
Oh, through website. We have a intimacy.com is our website. Our Vishnu will share with you.
So yeah, I mean, I'll put it in the show notes, etc. as well. But is there any questions that you think that I haven't asked that you'd like to address before we sign off?
You almost all questions you asked. These are the questions of the modern world. Yes, every day I am facing these kind of questions. But only thing I want to tell your viewers, focus on ourselves. Stop blaming outside. Stop comparing with others. Like always look at your thumb impression. There is no one else with your own thumb impression. That means all are unique. You are special, unique creation by nature. So you cannot compare with someone else. So please stop comparing things and learn to look inside, retrieve or revive the hidden potential of an animal, the instinct. So feel like an animal, then think like a human. If we'll succeed in that process, we will become a complete being, smiling, contented. That is what I would like to tell everybody. I'm requesting everybody to sacrifice only 24 minutes a day. Learn to sit on a mat on the ground, not on the sofa. Sit on a mat on floor and with a cross leg. Learn from somebody, experienced person about how to focus your mind. Practice unconditionally. Just sacrifice 24 minutes a day for your body and mind. See the change. Within few months, you will come to know something is fundamentally changing within you.
Love it. And as they say, comparison is the thief of joy.
Yes, true.